Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video, going to be doing a bit of a follow-up to our video yesterday where we analyzed Final Fantasy VII's new trailer, including the gameplay analysis and what we can actually see of the characters in there. Now, if you want to go check that video out, great. That video has the trailer playing constantly. I decided not to do that 2 days in a row, and instead to show you boring old plain text as we talk about the title of this video. Now, for those of you who missed yesterday's video, at one point we do talk about the possibility of Final Fantasy VII still being episodic. And I put that in quotes because it's not a term that Square Enix has classically liked when talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake project. And we'll get into that in a little bit here. I said that with it being pulled in-house, that maybe they should stick to what they already know and work on a one complete full game, even though the reasons they've given for releasing it in multiple parts are not just because, hey, we want to make a bunch of money, it's because we want to actually start releasing it in a reasonable fashion and actually being able to cover the scope of the entire project. Well, we got our answer, because if we had just taken 5 minutes to actually read the Japanese site that released after the trailer had come out, we would have seen this quote. We would have seen it in Japanese, but we would have seen this quote. Now, the English translation I'm looking at here, I got off RPGsite.com and their article talking about the continuation of doing an episodic format for Final Fantasy VII. I'll include a link to them in the description of the video. Now, according to the website, the translation reads, the newest trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake has been published at today's State of Play. The original version was released on PlayStation in 1997. The magnificently moving story, appealing characters, and movies that used leading-edge technology at the time fascinated a lot of people. And up until now, it has recorded a worldwide total sales of over 11 million copies. That total is combined from physical software shipments and digital sales. And Final Fantasy VII Remake, reborn on the PlayStation 4, is us conducting a full remake as we review many of its content. And we are progressing on its production as partitioned titles. We will give new information in June, so please kindly look forward to it. So that pretty much says it. The word partitioned, that's pretty much all we needed. I've seen other translations say separated. I've seen other translations say episodic. Seems to be mostly people interpreting it the way they will. But partitioned titles is very clearly saying that yes, Final Fantasy VII Remake is still planned to release in multiple titles. Now, I feel a bit conflicted about this, because in the video yesterday, I said I'd much prefer them trying to make one complete title, because that's something that I feel that Square Enix has some, I'd say at least some over the years, expertise in doing. They do not really strike me as a release games over multiple projects or multiple titles kind of thing. It just doesn't seem like it's one of their strengths. Now, since they're sticking with this, I'm very much now in the boat of I need to wait and see how it actually pans out. Because here's the thing. They've gone on record back in 2015 saying that it's not like they're planning on doing it like Life is Strange or like the Telltale games used to be. Feels bad, man. They said that each and every title in Final Fantasy VII Remake would have the contents of a full game. Now, an example for that is that Midgard, for example, would be open to all of its sectors, and that's just one thing. We know that some of the most popular scenes, such as the cross-dressing scene, are still going to be present in the remake, and obviously they have to fully voice everything, fully remake everything, do it in the new engine, which is Unreal Engine 4, in case any of you were wondering. There's all sorts of things that need to be done, and apparently the scope of that is so large that if they don't do it this way, it will indeed be one of those who knows if we'll ever see it kind of things. So in order to meet the demand, releasing it in multiple titles seems to be the best way to go. The one thing we're trying to avoid with this, and the one thing none of the fans want to see, is that all of these titles release as full-price games and not be worth that full price. There's a major concern here that because all of us already know the story, while yes, they could expand upon it, and no doubt they will, it's still a very, very tough thing to convince people who played it back in 1997 that releasing it as multiple full-price titles is necessarily going to be the way that things need to be done. Now, I don't know if they've specifically gone on record saying that each of the parts will be full price. I think that's still an assumption that some of us are making because they keep talking about it having a full game's worth of content. If you're going to put a full game's worth of content, why wouldn't you charge full game's price, right? Maybe we'll get lucky and they won't be. But the big question we need to answer now is, are each of those individual titles worth it? Or is it a wait for the compilation of Final Fantasy VII that's no doubt to come way down the line and grab that for the price of one full game of $60? It's a big question, and a lot of question marks are going to be revolving around it, especially leading up to June. But let me know what you think. Are you okay with if it really is the scope they say it is? Are you okay with this format? Do you think it is an okay sacrifice to get it in parts because of its scope, as opposed to not getting it at all? These are questions that I feel like you can answer for me in the comment section of the video below. But anyway, enough text on the screen. Nobody's interested in actually watching this, so I'm going to wrap things up. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and when June comes around, trust me, we'll have more Final Fantasy VII videos to produce. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time, and until then, take care.